Everyone, thanks for joining me again today. We are going to be learning Sun Salutation C. So we'll move through a few rounds of Sun Salutation C. The first one we'll go slow, talking through each pose or asana, and then we'll speed it up a little bit and offer some modifications. Right? If you could just join me at the top of your mat in Tadasana, and we're going to have our feet planted, hip width apart, hips stacked over ankles, shoulders over our hips. And we're going to have our arms, palms to the front of the mat, shoulders away from our ears. And we're going to lengthen through the spine, through the crown of the head. And on an inhale, we're going to raise our hands towards the sky, gaze towards our fingers. And we're going to spread the fingers wide, get some energy moving through the fingers. And if this doesn't feel good for you today, maybe you bring your arms a bit wider, like you're holding a beach ball. Or perhaps today you keep your hands at your heart, or maybe even keep them down by your side. So on an exhale, we will fold forward, letting our head hang heavy, resting our hands on the mat or on blocks, or perhaps we're holding onto the backs of our legs, remembering not to lock out our knees, bending deeply into the knees if you need to, and let the head hang. On an inhale, half lift. We can put our hands on our shins, on the mats, on blocks, or maybe even today, or on our thighs. Important thing here is to lengthen through the spine, reach through the crown of the head. And on an exhale, we're going to step our right foot to the far back of the mat, drop the right knee and the top of the foot, and we're now in low lunge. So having your hands framing your left foot, your knee is going to be stacked over your ankle, making sure your knee isn't collapsing in towards your center line. Think about pushing the knee up towards your pinky toe and really rooting through the top of the back foot, pressing into your mat. And you can stay here if you'd like, or you can take an inhale, rise up. Again, if this doesn't feel good on your shoulders, maybe you take a wider, maybe you have wider, um, spread your hands wider, like you're holding a beach ball, or you can have your hands at your heart. Another option is to have your hands on your hips. So making sure your hips are facing forward and making sure when we rose up that our knee didn't collapse in. So continuing to press that knee towards our pinky toe. And on an exhale, we're going to step the left foot back and we're going to hold here in plank pose for an inhale. And making sure you're pressing into all the pads of the fingers, pressing the mat away from you, not locking out your elbows, staying on your toes. And then on an inhale, we're going to rise up on our toes. And then on an exhale, we're going to lower with control all the way down to the mat, keeping your elbows tucked in close. And we're going to drop the tops of our feet pointing towards the back of the mat, our hands under shoulders, elbows tucked in. We're going to rise up into cobra with an inhale. On an exhale, we're going to tuck our toes, press our hips back into downward facing dog. And here, we're looking to press our chest back towards our thighs, gaze towards our toes, Pedaling through the feet if we need to, bending in the knees if that's what we need today, making sure to keep the shoulders dropped away from the ears, and rooting through our hands. Let's take an inhale. Exhale, step the right foot to your right hand. Drop the left knee back, the top of the left foot. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale, tuck your toes, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, half raise. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up into Tadasana, mountain pose. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, so this one we're gonna move a little bit more with our breath, but we're gonna add a couple of things in. So inhale your hands up, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your foot to the back of the mat. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Exhale, plank pose. Step your foot back. Inhale and exhale, lower down with control. Inhale, press up into cobra. Or we can press up into upward facing dog. And this is where you're going to really press through the tops of your feet, lifting the shins and the thighs off of the ground. Exhale, tuck your toes, press back into downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale, step your right foot to the top of the mat, drop your left knee, rise up into low lunge. Exhale, plant your hands, step to the top of the mat, forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, Tadasana. Exhale, hands to your heart. Next round. Inhale, tall mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step your right foot back, drop the right knee, the top of the foot, rise up into low lunge. And then let's pause there. All right, so we're going to gaze towards our fingertips, and we're just going to slightly bend back, just a slight back bend, and then come forward. Exhale into plank. Inhale and shift forward. Exhale, lower down all the way or part way. Inhale, press up to cobra, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And inhale. Exhale, step your right foot up, drop your left leg, rise up and inhale. And let's take a slight back bend. Exhale, tuck your toes, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, rise up, tall mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, let's go through one more round together. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, dive down, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step the right foot back, drop the knee. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, and then inhale for a back bend. Exhale, moving through chaturanga. Inhale to rise. Exhale, push back into downward facing dog. Inhale. Exhale, step the right foot to top of the mat, lower the left leg. Inhale, rise to low lunge. Exhale. Inhale, bend. Exhale, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold back down. Inhale, rise up into tall mountain. Exhale, hands to your heart. All right, hopefully that gave you a better idea of sun salutations and some ways that you can add on or modify it. Thanks for joining me today. Namaste.